So, to get into this, I did just want to point out that this was recorded in the original Halo 3, not the Master Chief Collection. However, if you do plan on buying the game, you definitely want to get it in the Master Chief Collection, because the servers are being shut down on like January 11th. So, anyways, just want to point that out. Definitely buy it on the Master Chief Collection, and it's crossplay and everything. I just kind of did this for nostalgia's sake, and so I could review the original game. Now, in case you've never heard of Halo, even though it's a pretty big game, Halo 3 is basically an FPS game with a big focus on story and gameplay. Now, I know that's not really narrowing it down, but I hope through the rest of the review, maybe you can get a grasp and an idea of the game through the gameplay and all my commentary. So, to get into the campaign, it's basically where you get to choose various missions to replace Master Chief, and you get to battle the Covenant, try to save the world. Each mission gets in depth, and you always feel like you have a goal, and that's what I like about the campaign. Really, when it comes down to it, though, the campaign is just scripted sections where you fight AI and have various objectives to do. But it's fun, and you get to experience the sandbox and the story, and overall, I think it's pretty solid. Now, the story starts when Master Chief is hurling towards Earth from space, and he basically impacts on the Earth, lands, and gets picked up by a group of Marines, and from there he actually allies with the Covenant, which is a big story point. Now, I definitely think that the campaign has a great way of basically linking the story with the gameplay. With each mission, you know what you're doing and what your objective is. Of course, I don't want to spoil the story, but I think it's definitely fun just going through missions, plowing down enemies, and being able to just experience the story along with it without it kind of breaking up. I know there's a lot of other games where they kind of feel separated, just like it's a gameplay sandbox without a story connected to it. But I definitely think this is one of Halo's strong points. Now, for the basic sandbox and gameplay, you have your normal weapons like your assault rifle, which is mainly good at close range because it has a large weapon spread. Then you have other normal weapons, basically like the battle rifle, which is a 3-shot precision weapon. And also, there's no hit scan in this game. It's all projectile based. Then you have your power weapons like your plasma rifle, your plasma pistol, your sentinel beam. And basically how they work is they lower your shield, but they're not as good as lowering health. So it's usually best to be paired with a precision weapon so that we can finish them off with a headshot or something like that. And some of these weapons are dual wieldable, and you can basically hold 2 of them at once. Now, there is some downside to this, like basically you can't throw grenades, use equipment, or melee without dropping them, but at the same time you also get to do basically double the damage, so it's pretty nice. Grenades are basically a piece of equipment you can use to aid you while helping. You wouldn't want to use them alone, but if you pair them with a weapon, they can be pretty deadly. So grenades are good for different purposes. So frag grenades are good around corners, plasma grenades are pretty good against vehicles, and then spike grenades, I just kind of use them like frag grenades. I just throw them around walls aimlessly. I don't really know how to use them that well. And then fire grenades, well, they're fire grenades. They just kind of melt through enemies. There's not much to explain. Now, for vehicles, most of them are basically used for transport, where you can carry one teammate on the back, and he can fire at the back, and you can basically drive around and escort people. So the basic ones are the Mongoose and the Warthog, which can carry teammates. There's some power vehicles like the tank, which you can just basically explode enemies through, mowing down people, get a gunner, and of course the main tank part. It's pretty OP. Then, of course, I think one of the best vehicles is the Hornet, because it can carry 3 people, you get rockets, a turret, and then of course your 2 side gunners, and you got this one's pretty overpowered, I think. They're getting into equipment. It's basically like grenades. You can throw them down and they can help you basically during battle. So, for example, if you're getting shot, you throw down a bubble shield or maybe deployable cover, stuff like that. And you can kind of use it to your advantage. There's radar jammers, landmines, like shield breaking stuff. So right here, this is draining his shields out so you can kill him faster. And they're basically support items. Again, you wouldn't get kills with them alone usually. They're just to help aid you. So they're pretty cool. So the multiplayer in this game is called matchmaking, and you basically get to play different groups of game types and playlists, which you can have fun with. There's some cool ones like Infection, I think Action Sacks in this game, Team Snipers, MLG, 7 on 7, which is pretty cool. Now basically you play matchmaking so you can earn EXP and ranked EXP. And not only are those just cool to show off on your profile, but you can also unlock new helmets, cosmetics, and other stuff like that. And of course, you get that cool badge on it. So basically, different playlists, you can get different XP in those playlists. And there's a total XP you have, then there's basically ranked XP for ranked game modes, and then there's playlist XP, which is the XP you have in your playlist. And you can check all of these stats in your service record. Now for cosmetics, you get to change stuff like your armor, species, emblem colors, service tag, gender, and I think these are pretty cool. You earn some of these as you play the game, but a lot of them you unlock at the start, so you can basically customize how you look in the game and how everything looks. You get a lot of customization. So here's a look at the basic emblems you get to choose. You can mix and match, change your colors of everything, appearance, your armor. You get a lot of customization with armor, and I like my loadout setup. Then you can also be aliens, which is kind of cool. If you want to play as like Covenant, you can. One of the most important aspects of Halo is the custom games, where you can make whatever game mode you dream of, and you can just have loads of fun with your friends. It's amazing how many game modes people have came up with, like Fat Kid, Jenga, Tetris, Duck Hunt, Joyriders, Halo on Halo. Just so many game types, and there's so much fun. I think that this is definitely the highlight of Halo itself. And you can also build maps using the Forge tool, where you can basically place objects, place weapons, place vehicles, gadgets, everything, and even edit like geometry and place buildings. And if you're really good at it, you can use glitches and techniques to basically set up maps and build stuff in the sky, phase stuff together, which in later Halo games became staple features. The forging's definitely a lot harder. Now in the Master Chief Collection, they did add physics and phase from Halo Reach into the base game again. So if you are playing this on Master Chief Collection, having to balance stuff and use physics won't even be an issue. Now, one of the other things that I think is cool about Forge is, unlike other map editors, you can just literally go in and out of the editor mode. So you can place stuff down and play with it and fight your friends. So you can literally go into a multiplayer lobby and just mess around in Forge mode with people. You don't actually have to build anything. And that's why I find it so fun. It's like its own other game mode. Halo 3 also has a theater mode, which you see in a lot of other games, but basically allows you to make clips and make machinimas and stuff like that. And you can also save them to your file share. Now, what is the file share? Well, the file share is basically where you can store files inside of your file share, and people can download them, and vice versa. So if you have a map, a clip, a screenshot, a game mode that you want to upload and have your friends play, you can send it to them. And also, you don't need to be in the same lobby in them. There's this technique where you basically go inside of your private chat, add a profile, and then you can just get their file share. So really, any gamer tag you see with has files in it, you can just go download their maps. This is definitely very revolutionary because it's really the first map sharing you could do in like an Xbox game, where you could just build stuff and then share it to other people. Now I know I'm a bit biased in this review because I really do like Halo 3, but I really think it's a good game. I've had a lot of memories in it, and I think it just has a whole bunch to offer. So I definitely recommend getting this game, whether you're getting it on PC, the original copy, or on Master Chief Collection. Definitely think this is a must-have game. I would say this game is a 10 out of 10, but I know that's just me being biased, so I'll give it a 9.5. I really think this game's good. Anyways, that's about it.